So I got some new underwear. This is what I've been wearing, ex officios, and they're really nice. But I found some, and I've been getting these at Target and online. They're made by Champion, and I think they're much nicer. They're kind of compression, a lot of support. Here's the box they come in. But all that's to say that this box is made out of mostly flat plastic, so I cut a piece out of the back because I was having problems. Let me get you off there. With chips packing in the lead screw of my vise. So one of the things that I did before was I cut a piece of sheet metal to put down in there, but it just bends and then it binds your vise up even worse. Now this is a Glacier machine tool vise. It came with this thing, which I assume goes back here or in there if the vise is opened all the way up, but it's too long, you can't fit it in there when you're clamping small parts. So I cut this piece off the back of that underwear box, and I'm going to see how that works. Now it should at least help with the chips getting into that screw. Problem is it gets down in there into the threads, and then you can't turn it. Also, my drawbar's stripped, the threads, so it wouldn't really hold any of my tools. It would hold some, but not most of them, I would say. So, had my buddy Bruce, Liberty Forever, make me a new one on his lathe. And then I heat treated it with my matte gas torch, and I dunked it in some used motor oil, and I think it turned out really nice. We'll see how long it lasts, but one thing I opted to do was I changed the 11/16 socket that came with it to a 3/4 inch socket. And the reason being is the 3/4 inch socket is what the vise uses, so I can now just go back and forth between my drawbar and my vise without having to change the socket, so that's just a little bit more convenient. The other thing I was having a lot of trouble with was my door. The door on this machine fell off a long time ago. The hinges came right off. Oh, check out my decals. I'm accumulating those, so if you have some, send them to me. I'll put them up there. I just put up Grimsmos and Hex Gadgets. But my door fell off a long time ago. It was a hinge. It did hinge like this, and I hated that. And it leaked. It leaked all down the face of it, and it was just a pain in the ass generally. I much prefer the sliding door because you don't have to get way out of the way to move it. So what I did was I came up with this idea. I just got a piece of I don't know what that is, like 3/8 aluminum extrusion. Got it from Amazon. I think I got everything from Amazon. Because actually I got a huge piece. There's a long piece on the ceiling that I used for camera mount. But I had some left over, so I put it on here. And what I did was I milled the back of it. Sort of like this. I kind of milled some off the back, but there's a portion that I left intact, so it kind of had this little hook. And I left that hook from here to here, so I could hook it over the sheet metal edge of the enclosure. And then I just drove a self-tapping screw in there to hold it. But it's very rigid, even just holding in there with one screw, mainly because of that little hook. And then the rest of it sits flat up against the machine over on this side. So then what I did was I got some of this tubing. Looks like this. This is all from Amazon, but this is like shower door tubing, and it's self-adhesive right here. And it's like D-shaped sort of. And I glued a strip of that to the top there, but it came off without too much effort, because you're always putting your hand there and you're knocking it over. So what I did was I actually took this thing back out and I milled a slot the width of that thing all the way down to the other side. And then I was able to, well, I put some glue in there, some good glue, and then I put another long strip in there, and this thing is not going anywhere. It's very solid. I don't know if it's kind of hard to see, but in fact, let me detach you here for a second. Because this works in conjunction with other shower door stuff that I got from Amazon. Let's see. It's this stuff. And if you look, this rubber thing goes right inside there, and it kind of makes like a watershed, I guess. So when coolant hits it, it just flows back into the machine. And I have this going all around the perimeter of the door, and I bent it with a heat gun there. And I got it all secured on there with silicone on this side too. Even and the one across the bottom, it has this like kind of flexible rubber thing that just rides in this channel here. And it's very smooth. I put a little bit of oil on it too, just on the sliding surface, and it's just like glass. So the way this works is you have these rubber gaskets here that kind of surround the face of the door. And when you close this, this kind of makes a seal. It doesn't bump up to the gasket on the inside, it goes on the outside. So it'd be very hard for coolant to get out of there. And it would probably get behind the gasket, but then it flows down into this corner. And I just have that all caulked up, and I took another piece of that plastic, put in the underwear box, and I cut a little piece and I just siliconed it in, so if this gets coolant in there, it doesn't drip out of the side there. Did the same thing on this side, but I also used like a little piece of weather stripping, or you know, it's all from Shower Door. It's like Shower Door Direct or something like that on Amazon. Put that in there and put some caulk down there. And then I put this aluminum bar up here that's kind of like a standoff. So the door needs to rotate out like this. There's nothing holding the door in there but gravity. You just rotate it out so the shower door, whatever you call it, plastic stuff comes out, and it's no longer captivated in the door space. and then you slide it, and then it rests on this bar. And that keeps the door off of the machine, and then you can just slide it all the way over. And if you needed to take the door off, well, you lift it right up. And I put some handles on there that I found in the clearance bin over at Lowe's. So, good deal. Now, the reason that my door fell off was because making gas blocks, making those ones on the far side, causes this vise to come way out because it's got to machine the ones over on this side. Well, this lead screw kept putting pressure on that door until eventually it broke it off the hinges. Well, this arrangement, like the door did butt up against this black gasket. Now it's all the way back here. That's about an inch, which is just enough space to completely clear that lead screw. So now, no issues with the vise pushing on that door and opening it up and spraying coolant all over the floor and breaking things, although there's nothing to break now. That's for you, Brad. I'm still alive.